All right, I'm here with EG.Incontrol on day 2 of MLG, who unfortunately was just eliminated by Binsky Light. But your team's been doing really, really well overall, right?
Yeah, this MLG was interesting. We had there's like 10 different ways to get seeded going into it, so most of our team was already in winter round 5 just because of online stuff going into it. Nobody was in groups, and they all kind of took care of business, and in terms of like team kills, it never really happened, so it's lucky, to be honest with you.
Stefano this weekend was at ESWC, and there was some drama about him being able to hear the French casters and that. I actually don't know the result. Did he win? No.
Took third.
Took third. Do you think that, like, when that sort of stuff happens, it's gonna, it tarnishes the win or the performance? And is it even fair to make that, suggestion based on Stefano's skill and how well he would have performed?
Well, I think taking third is well within his range, whether he can hear the commentators or not. And I think a lot of people know Stefano would agree with that. If I were to say that about some like weird guy that just popped up and took third, I think they would have more of a problem with that. But Mana taking first, 4GG taking second, and Stefano taking third. I think the most glaring story there for me is that this was the tournament for Stefano to win.
Right.
If he can hear the commentators still and he still took third, then it's like doubly kind of upsetting. But in terms of the legitimacy of the tournament, it just sucks. I mean, ESWC is back paying all the people they didn't pay, and then they're already handing out a massive prize pool. I mean, I think Mana won $25,000. It's fantastic. But to have that little asterisk where it's like throughout the tournament, Demaga, Night End, Death Angel, these guys were robbed of potentially legitimate wins because these unknown French players, suddenly they're playing pretty good.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I know you're getting married soon, and you're going to miss IPL. Are there any like EG members in the wedding party?
Yeah, Machine's one of the groomsmen, and the rest of EG will be there.
Okay, cool. So they're not going to be at IPL?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you guys going to stream it?
Anna really wants to. She's actually taking on 99% of the workload in terms of the wedding, so I've kind of told her, like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, and then the closer we get to it, I think the more you'll agree with me. And so far she's been like, no, I really want to show people our wedding, and we'll see.
I actually interviewed Grubby earlier and asked him for advice for you for married life. And, not verbatim, but his advice was basically that you can't be right all the time.
Yeah. In fact, I would almost say you're almost never right if you're really smart.
Okay. So you already feel
I agree with him. It's hard though, and as everybody knows me in the community, like it's very hard for me to give up an argument. But man,
that's why I burst out laughing when he said it. So.
there's got to be some hidden camera following, because there's been some times where I'm like, you're right. Yes. And she's like, thank you. That's what I expected.
So I know Anna lives with you guys right now. Are you guys going to move out or get your own place or?
There's always big plans in the future for EG. They're talking about changing some things up, but in terms of our living arrangement, we'll always be in and around the lair, just so that we can kind of continue to be with the team, be that entity there, but also the content's so important to us. I mean, a lot of people understand that EG is beyond just a pro gaming team, but also a team that generates interest for their sponsors. That's very important for me to be around that. So I'll live with her, but if it's in the apartment or if it's in the lair itself, that's yet to be determined.
There's been some rumblings about Jaedong and EG. Is it just rumblings?
I've kind of said this a few times. I love that whenever those players are up for discussion, EG's mentioned. I can't say whether it is or not that we're going to take him on, but I can just tell you that, and you know this, I mean, for God's sakes, playing Brood War, like, what was it, 10 years ago, Flash Jaedong, I mean, a little bit less 10 years ago, I guess 7 or 8. Sure. Flash Jaedong, they're so good that our mental image of them transforms them into twice as handsome. Like, I think I would put his balls in my mouth. Wow. To be. I mean, he's so good that he's more handsome than
sure.
He's like a Brad Pitt. So, like I said, I'm sorry I can't tell you yes or no, but if he was on our team, just know that like the moment that gets announced, somewhere in the world, I'm coming.
Okay. Jaedong, he's coming. Or maybe he's coming.
Yeah. Well, he does it too, I suppose.
That set me off.
I know.
My questions are good. The questions are over there now. What's coming up for you? After wedding, are you taking some time off or honeymoon or?
December is the month off. That was something we did last year when we weren't even engaged or married. It was just that was the 1 month where tournaments aren't really there. So I don't see my family in Seattle.
Right.
Anna doesn't see her family in Portland. We got to go do that, otherwise we die. But we're honeymooning in Disney World, and I'm really excited about that, because if you've ever been to Disneyland or World, it's actually paradise. There's nothing wrong with that place. Couldn't do anything differently. Very excited about that. And then when I come back, January and onward, it's back to the grind. But as far as November's concerned, this is my last competitive tournament, so unfortunately that's it for me for competition. And with all the clan leagues drying up as well, I think that's it. So now my attention shifts to Heart of the Swarm. I really think the Protoss changes are cool. I like the Mama Core. I like if that time stop thing remains in there for the Oracle, then great. I mean, I can't see how it does, but okay. And it's new beginnings.
I just saw Idra beat Grubby 2-0, and there was a lot of Broodlord Infestor. Are you looking forward to something to break that up?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a little bit worried because right now it seems like it'll be Broodlord Infestor Reaper, or Viper rather. Right. So like, I don't see it changing too terribly much. Maybe the Tempest changes that a little bit, so I'm hoping for that. But yeah, I mean, in particular, like I cast quite a bit as well. Whenever I cast those EVZs that go on for an hour and they just both have 20 Broodlords, right, 20 Infestors, and it never ends, I think to myself, there can't be someone out there that's enjoying this. I can't imagine that. Right. And I think that's something that both Blizzard needs to pay attention to. Well, I guess it starts with Blizzard because nobody else can change the way the game played. So.
Right. Do you think they're on the right track? I know a lot of pros have been, giving them feedback and there's a pro forum and that. Do you think they're on the right path to making good changes?
Yeah, I actually do. I really, to be honest, I think with the Zerg changes, they kind of hit their stride. Like I like the idea of the Ultras getting some buffs in there, so there's more of a choice at that Hive tech. I think the Viper adds more to the multitask and the skill, so a Zerg player will have a better ability to display their skill as opposed to pretty basic Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor. Terran I'm a little bit worried about just because the changes they've come out with have either been so far imbalanced and then they just completely nerfed it. So I'm kind of worried about the payload thing right now with the mine because it's overpowered. So do they just cut that too? And then what does Terran get? They get a mine? That's not anything at all. So yeah, I think they're moving in the right direction. A lot of people would complain about the speed for which they're doing it, but as far as I'm concerned, I really do enjoy Wings of Liberty, and if Heart of the Storm can add to that, then this game's only getting better, and I'm happy about that.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
Just, thanks to everyone. Obviously, the Team Liquid's been doing a fantastic job following this. It's been kind of it's been interesting at this MLG because like Team Liquid would go up and down because back at home, the Storm's still actually having its effect. Mm-hmm. And then here, like half the crew's not here, but then the other half of the crew is like, they have this weird like pilgrimage, like we will do this MLG. I drove 24 hours to be here, and I just hope that's not lost on people, and I hope they understand. So I'm just trying to put my voice out there that they hear this MLG was like fought for, and I think it's something we can be proud of so far.
You want to do sponsor plugs and stuff
sure.
like that?
Just a big shout out to EG and our sponsors, of course, for making it possible. You guys know the drill. Raid Caller title sponsor, Intel Steel Series, all those guys. And then a big thanks to everyone that's been following me. I've been getting some really nice messages on Twitter, and obviously the haters are out there, but I'm trying to focus on the positive, and I really appreciate it.
And what's your Twitter?
Twitter's EG.Incontrol. Thank you.
You're probably following him already, but in case. So yeah, good luck to the rest of your team, and we'll see you after New Year's.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.